Hey guys, thanks for joining me for an episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today we're going to take a look at the first expansion to Fantahzee Hordes and Heroes, which is called Rogues Gallery. With this expansion, it's going to add a new hero type, which are the rogues, and it's also going to add some additional enemies. It'll add a new trap deck, which is going to add a whole nother element to the game. And then there's also some gem tokens, which players will be able to collect randomly and use in place of some of their dice to activate heroes or whatnot. So my opinions of this one, I've enjoyed this expansion. It adds a couple new elements, like I said, that I'm going to show you guys in this video. And I definitely think that it's a good expansion to pick up if you enjoyed the base game and you're looking for a little bit more. So as always, these are just my opinions. I'd love to hear yours in the comments below, as well as this one that you're looking to pick up. And as always, if you enjoy these videos, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel so I can continue to grow and bring these titles to you guys. If you want to stay up to date on all my videos, also consider ringing that bell so you get notifications anytime I release new content. So let's go ahead and head to the table and I'll teach you guys how to play. Fantahzee Rogues Gallery is going to add 92 new cards to the game. So first off, with the heroes, they're going to start off with 2 new action cards that are going to mainly affect traps, and I'll go into those a little bit later. And then you're going to have a brand new faction, which are the rogues themselves. And these guys are going to specialize in manipulating gems or traps and doing other effects. And I'm going to show you how to set them up in a little bit. The treasure deck also gets a boost with 3 new level 1 treasures, the Dagger, Smoke Bomb, and Jewel Box, and 2 additional new level 2 treasures which are much needed, the Rogue's Cloak and Magic Sword. The heroes weren't the only ones to get new additions, so on the monster side we have 3 new level 1 monsters and 2 new level 2 monsters, and a lot of these monsters' special abilities are going to revolve around the traps, which I'm going to get to in a minute, but that's a new card type as well. And then we have 1 new boss as well, which is the Troll King. And with the bosses during setup, you could either choose to only use 5 bosses as regular, or you could use all 6 if you wanted to. The rulebook does recommend using 5 though, as you guys are going to see. The final set of new cards are the trap cards, and there's 5 new traps included with this. We have the Caltrops, Poison Arrow, Spike Pit, Smoke Screen, and Bomb. Each one of these will list the name at the top, what effects it has, and the number of victory points you'll get at the end of the game for it. The final new addition are the gems. These will be added to the dice bag at the beginning of the game during setup, as you guys are going to see. And then throughout the game, certain abilities or effects will allow players to draw a number of these randomly from the dice bag. When players want to, they can use the gems to replace die symbols to activate heroes during their turn, as you guys will see. For board setup, it works pretty much the same way with a couple of differences. First off, just like in the regular game, you're going to go ahead and grab your boss cards, and this time you're going to have 6, so you have the choice. You could either have 6 horde stacks if you want to, or you can randomize and choose one of those bosses to remove. So let's say we remove that one, and then we would have 5 stacks just like in the original. From there, then the setup is pretty much the same from there. Then you would grab your level 2 monsters and level 1 monsters and place them just like in the original game. Now with those, you're going to have additional monsters. So with this one, you could either add them all together and then divide them up as normal, or you can, if you want to stay with the original game settings, you can choose to shuffle up all the level 1 monsters you have and then randomly deal out 30 of those, which then you would place, and 25 of level 2 monsters. And again, like I said, the setup is the same once you're done with that. With the treasure deck, you can go ahead and add the new treasure and shuffle those up to place those out. You'll do the same thing with the trap deck now. You can go ahead and shuffle that up and then place that out towards the other side of the field. And then finally with the heroes, again, you have an option. You can either shuffle up all of the new cards from the expansion and add them into the original, or alternatively, you can divide up all the heroes into their 4 types, which again are the mages, warriors, artificers, and the new rogues. From there, once you have them divided up, choose 3 or randomly select 3 to play with. So for example, if we chose these 3 here, then we remove all of the warrior cards from the deck and then shuffle up our other 3 heroes to be used. And then you would place that deck, of course, at the end. And then from there, the final step is to take all the gem tokens and the gem bag that the dice were in, and add them in there, give it a shake, and that'll be your randomizer for the game whenever you need to draw those. So let me cover the basics of the new components real quick. So first off, with the gem tokens, there are going to be different characters and effects or actions that will allow you to draw random tokens from the bag during your turn. So anytime you do that, you simply draw a random token from the bag and place it in front of you, and this can be used later on as a replacement for one of the die numbers that you need. So for example, with this one, since we pulled a 4, if we needed another 4 or we just want to use it, we can use that. Each player is allowed to have a maximum of 4 gems at any time, so if you would draw more than 4, you always have to discard down to 4 by the end of your turn, but whenever you receive it. So you can't use the ones that you have extra of and then get rid of, and then not get rid of them. Finally, we have the trap cards. So there'll be different monsters or effects that will cause traps to be placed, and when they're placed, they're simply placed over any monster that is in that stack. When a player chooses to fight in that stack, then the card will be flipped over and revealed, and then its effects will come into play. From there, then it'll move to the player's victory pile at the end of their turn. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys is an example of a turn and explain a couple of the other new features. So first off, at the beginning of the game, you're going to flip over the top card of each stack. Oh, we got one of the new guys. So with this one, it says, when revealed, set a trap on the untrapped stack nearest the village. So this will be our vanguard stack. So we'll place a trap face down. From there, then we'll go ahead and start our turn with our player. So he's got a bunch of different cards. He's going to go ahead and play an action card. This one's going to give each of his active characters an additional strength this turn. And then we got a new action, so we'll go ahead and use this one. This one will get us 2 random gems from the bag. So let's go ahead and draw those. So we've got a number 5 and number 2. From there, then let's go ahead and place some of our heroes to hopefully activate them. So let's go ahead and play this guy, and we'll try for that one. Heading to our player's turn, so we're going to go ahead and roll our 5 dice. All right, so we got a 4 for that one. We've got a couple of 6s, and a 5 and a 3. Let's go ahead and hold on to the 6s, and we'll go ahead and roll these 2 over again, see what we get. So we got another 6, and then we could choose to use the 3 here, or we could have used one of these if we wanted to. So both of our characters are active, and it says with this guy, activate, get 1 random gem from the bag. So let's go ahead and do that. If you pull a 4, 5, or 6, which we did, you get to move 1 trap from one stack to another. So let's go ahead and move this trap off the vanguard, as we really need to go after that, and we'll move it onto that one. From there, we head into our turn, so we have a total of 7 power plus 1 for each character that's active, so we'll have 9 power to work with. So let's go ahead and attack this stack to reveal the trap. So we'll go ahead and reveal it, and it's this one's a poison arrow. So when you add poison arrow to your victory pile, discard 1 active hero. All right, so then we'll place this down here. And then we can go ahead and proceed as normal by attacking different monsters. So we'll attack this one here. We'll attack him as well. So that's 4 points so far. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy that has the ambush for 6, and we have 3 more. So let's go down into this pile 1, and we found a 3, so we'll have enough to drop him as well. So at this point, then we would go with the rest of our turn taking care of counterattacks, which we do not have any counterattacks. So we'll get the score for all these guys. We gain 1 treasure. And we found a dagger, so we'll add it to this one here. These will go to our victory pile along with the poison arrow, but with this one, then we have to discard one of our active heroes, so we'll go ahead and get rid of our Steam Brute to the discard pile.